Hello everyone, we're back once again, and this time we're going to make a sacrifice. Basically, this episode is a big escape, but for the details I'll hand it over to my good friend, Blue Dragon 5.
Well, here's what happens. Batman and Katana, they're doing standard procedure, intimidating thugs, getting information on Tobias Well, etc., etc. But then Anarky enters the fray. Quite literally, it's Anarky, and he blows up cars. But no, Anarky, he draws the attention. He has a merry game to involve Batman in. Anarky manipulates the League of Assassins and Batman. They go to the Contagion Research Center. The Contagion Research Center, and Anarky wants something called calabasics, or it's a mutagen. Sorry, it's a mutagen that basically turn people into Titan-ish monsters from Arkham Asylum. So basically, that's what Anarky wants, and Anarky knows things are going to go awry, and that's part of his plan, just to kind of pit Batman in with other enemies, or enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of deal. Put Batman through the ringer and put the city in peril, that sort of thing. So what happens is Batman is forced to work with Lady Shiva along with Katana, and they have to get out of there because basically they're trapped in a... If those two guys, the two ninjas that have been exposed to the mutagen, if they scratch or touch, it's contact affiliated. If they touch them, they will be contaminated, and then they'll basically be a plague for the city if they escape. And the big ticking time bomb is, if there's, by a certain point, if there's a breach or if anything gets out, there's an automatic safety that basically if anything gets broken, or they explain that if anything gets broken, a giant fireball basically happens. Yeah. You have to extinguish all the chemicals, but I think then it's if anything breaches the premises before a shutdown is avoided, then they will, before shutdown's avoided, then they'll be engulfed in flame, basically.
Yeah. And, they don't make that too clear, do they? I gotta say that.
They do, but I mean, they change. At first they say if the chemicals are in danger, like there's a breach, basically then the fire occurs. But then that happens, so I guess it's, I don't think that one's really a fault of the writing.
No.
Just that one, it's basically they outline the premise. I'm not sure entirely. I don't know. They make it sound like it's a breach, but it's not a breach. I guess it's just a breach of the premises after the alarm's set, I guess, is what it's saying. But I don't know. Point is, so it's up to Batman has to work with Katana and working with Lady Shiva. They have to escape there before it's too late, before these two guys break out. Also, it's worth noting that these guys basically, there's a 90% chance that those guys would have died, the ninjas. So it does kind of work like the Titan from Arkham Asylum. So basically, chances are you would die after you're injected with it. After a while, so... Yeah. Also, Anarky's bargaining chip is a mysterious crate he stole from the League of Assassins before they could pick it up, hence why our ninjas have been infected. They get a second chance to redeem themselves by stealing, by playing Anarky's game and stealing the mutagen. Doesn't go well.
Yeah, so they do say that they saved the ninjas. I'm pretty sure they do, and they're locked up. But anyway, those, I don't know why they didn't just call it Titan, but they got. I don't think they did. Well,
it's not verbatim Titan, because I guess, Titan's a little PG-13 looking at all the spine and bone parts sticking out.
Yeah,
this one might actually be based off an actual. These guys really get their science and their terms right, so I'm impressed by that. But calabasics. I think it might be an actual real thing. It sounds, again, I'm not into this kind of science that much, but I believe it's like, it's like a bone, it's sort of like a bone changer.
Yeah.
Basically, increases like the size of your skeleton, I think, and basically shrink musculature, and basically it is kind of that. It's like strengthening muscle, I think. I could be entirely wrong in that. I probably am, but I'm just saying it sounds appropriate, and I think it's a real term.
Anyway, that's a very good episode. I'm glad I got to see it. The threat seemed pretty real. Like there was a couple of times where I thought, "Oh, are they actually going to get out of this?" But not real. Like it was a matter of how they were. Was excited to see how they would get out of it. Because it was really touch and go there for a while. I thought something interesting might happen. And it did usually. But there was. I actually thought it was automatic that there was nothing they could actually do to stop the explosion from happening. It was just, and we got some good Gordon moments protecting Batman. That was really cool. But
like any police officer, Gordon has to deal with the feds.
Yeah, and the sacrifice element, Katana going back and buying them time, and then Batman going back to save Katana.
I actually have a problem with that.
Yeah, me too. Because I wouldn't see Batman from the comics doing that, but Batman from this show I could actually see doing that just because, well, it's a kid's show and we can't have the main character die.
Well, here's my problem. It's not so much that. I like the stuff we get in this, and also in regards to the sacrifice. Let me say it this way. I think the overall episode, the theme of the episode is the title of the episode, Sacrifice. I feel it was a little heavy-handed. Stuff's good. I just think they forced it in there a little bit. Like we have two bits of sacrifice in this episode. It's mentioned in the first part where Batman and Katana are basically raiding a poker game. And a very nice scene on Katana's part, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically walks in on a poker game and, tough talks a bunch of them. Then they basically hang the one guy upside down, interrogating him in a great fashion, by the way. Batman. I always love Batman interrogating people who's saying, I understand.
You like interrogation scenes no matter where they are, don't you?
Everyone likes interrogation scenes, Magpie. Name a bad interrogation scene.
I'll get back to you on that.
Exactly.
I'm sure I've seen one. I'm sure I've seen one.
Anyway, so, Batman's just tough talking this one guy saying, I understand you want to keep your secret from Tobias Whale because you fear Tobias Whale. But understand this, your boss, Tobias Whale, fears me. That was good. Also, when I was watching the episode the first time, I just thought, oh, that poor guy, he's been hanging upside down for the whole episode. No one went back to save him, and all the car explosions caught Batman Katana off guard. And I don't know, I think they left that guy there for that whole episode. I feel a little bad for him. But, sorry, anyway, I just feel the theme of sacrifice, because at the beginning, Batman just kind of says, after they foil the poker game, basically a fire breaks out, and, they say, well, what about catching, Katana says, what about catching the bad guys? And he says, we have to make sure we evacuate the premises first. And he says, something along the lines of, we're willing to make that sacrifice, name-dropping the thing. And don't get me wrong, it's a good message and a good moral for the episode. It's forced a little there because I think they established it was an empty building. The first shot.
True.
They could have, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it was really something concerned with that they would have to evacuate the entire building. It really bothers me a little later on when Katana does make that sacrifice to buy him more time, because it doesn't feel like it's entirely necessary. Because, they're all the way down there, and really, now don't get me wrong, I like how these guys, it is a throwaway line, but these guys do get saved, because again, Batman makes a point of mentioning in the episode there's like a 90% death rate. Chance of death. And I thought that was very interesting. I was thinking, well, really, the only danger is, they have to distract these guys because they are going to die. Like in Arkham Asylum, when the Titan guys, since they weren't strong, if they would die after time limits.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking that, okay, just basically have to stall these guys so they can get out of there before these guys try to make skin contact with them. They're all the way down there. It was like an elevator shaft or something. And I was thinking, Katana, don't wrong, the sacrifice is appreciated, but you don't have to do it right now. Again, don't wrong, I don't mind her sacrificing, hence learning the lesson. I just think it was forced. Again, good message, just a little force there and earlier on. That's the thing.
True.
And I love Batman's sacrifice, though, when he goes through the toxic cloud of the of the mutagen. Basically, he was getting infected while he was getting the antidotes.
True. That was good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joyce, I think it's Jocelyn or Joycelyn Kilroy, is the kind of the, or for lack of a better word, Fed of the episode. You know, Gordon in the past, he's dealt with, you always hear Gordon, or just cops in general, always mentioning, well, the Feds are getting involved now, because they always, you know, kind of take over the scene and stuff. She, I think she's not like an FBI agent or anything. She's like, working with the, I want to say, like the
mayor and the governor.
Well,
the governor.
Yeah, like contagion. She's like part of the contagion force or something.
Yeah, that she's.
I like her name. Her name's kind of funny though. Kilroy sounds like Killjoy.
She was put there to give tension outside, and that was really good. I liked her role in it.
I wonder if they're going to bring her back. They'll need to. I'm just curious.
Yeah, it'd be interesting too, but only if they do something else with Contagion or something. I think we'll see her come back. But it was overall, this did move. This did give an exciting reveal at the end.
Oh,
so
you want to say it?
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul.
Yes.
Shows up. So
in a box.
In a box. Because I was going all the way through this, I was like, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" And I would admit, I'm a little disappointed. I wasn't. I was hoping it might be someone else or something.
Who were you hoping it was, other than Ra's al Ghul?
I kind of thought, oh, that's too obvious. It'd be Ra's al Ghul, and unfortunately, I was right. It was Ra's al Ghul.
Well, who would you want to be in the box?
Well, I kind of thought all the way through, it's just going to be Ra's, or it's going to be something else. Something is going to be in the box. Cause I like that, like the Anarky. I liked all those scenes of Anarky talking to the box all the way through. Yes, mate.
Now let me ask you this. I'm glad you brought that up, Magpie. Let me ask you this. At first, just now that we know Ra's al Ghul's in the box, he basically says, you know, you're. I know we have a lot in common. You know, you want infamy, chaos, and such. Now, let me ask you this, Magpie. Is that Anarky just talking to someone, just saying his own goals and desires, or do you think he's actually familiar with Ra's al Ghul?
I think he's studied him or something, and he knows.
They keep it kind of vague.
Yeah, they keep it kind of vague, but I think he knows who he is, but I don't think he knows him like he's met him or anything.
Well, I mean, of course not met him. I mean, like, knows of him.
Yeah, knows of him, yeah. I think he knows of him, but doesn't know him.
But again, they could just be, that's a valid point, but it also could be that he's just reflecting what his own wants and desires on, just talking to, like, an inanimate object. You know.
Yeah. I want to say this too. I didn't like Anarky's first episode. I liked this episode with Anarky.
And again, I want to point this out because I've heard many people, such as our esteemed colleague, the superhero enthusiast, also make this point. There is, at this point, there's not enough evidence to say that he's the Anarky from the comics. Anarky from the comics, quite literally, what Anarky in his namesake means. You know. Against society, you know, like destroy the establishment sort of thing to promote chaos.
Yeah,
that's basically comics Anarky. Now, I'm on the fence. I'm saying it's open enough to still support that. We just haven't gotten that yet, but it's open enough. I still that even for this episode. You know, I think there's still a chance that they didn't do it yet, but there's still a chance that Anarky, in addition to just wanting chaos and, you know, putting himself against Batman, he wants. You know, if he released this contagion or this, you know, mutagen and infected everyone, it would maybe, you know, take down the established order and stuff. I don't know. It's still very. There's a chance we might not get that at all, but I'm still saying I think it's open enough that we still could get, like, given his targets in the past with Daedalus and Junkyard Dog, you know, they're attacking like fancy art museums and such. Like something against high society. I still think Anarky could be that. Maybe he teams up with maybe Professor Pig or Mr. Toad at some point. Who knows? Point is, I still think we could get an Anarchy that's still that from the comics and still this. But again, even if we didn't get that, I don't think we have a bad thing with Anarchy right here. Would you agree?
No. I agree. We don't have anything bad.
I love Wallace Langham doing the voice of this character. However, I still wish Wallace Langham would play the Riddler, because I think he'd be perfect for that.
True. I'm going...
Katana doesn't like Anarchy.
No.
I really hate that guy. I love just the fact she just really doesn't like this. She meets him for the first time on the screen, and later on, he's on screens for the entire episode to her. His love just, I really hate this guy.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Really,
hate that guy.
Really, really good. And of course, Wallace Langham was Anarchy. Great job. And he has this bit, oh, I hope I didn't blow you up. I just wanted to get your attention. Oh, one more thing. Duck. And, of course, when he meets Lady Shiva, we have to talk about Lady Shiva in this episode, by the way.
Yeah, she stepped up a great deal.
Oh, I love Lady Shiva in this episode. In this series so far, I really like her.
Well, you didn't. I don't think you liked her too much when you first saw her, so...
Well, me? Personally?
Yeah, you personally.
No. I liked Lady Shiva. It was just that episode, it was just getting a point across. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I did love Lady Shiva in that episode and then forward. It's just that episode was just more, it was like a necessary thing to move the plot forward. It just didn't, have anything else to stand other than Lady Shiva. It didn't really have anything to stand out. Again, not that it was bad or anything, because I can't stress that point. That wasn't a bad episode, but we're dwelling in the past. The point is, Lady Shiva's cool. Mm. But yeah, she's, of course, this episode feels so much like a classic Batman premise to me. And it's kind of mixing in this theme you have of just early Batman foes along with kind of this ninja League of Assassins plot for the series so far. And we really get that in there. This episode felt to me, in addition to the one before this is kind of like an episode that really defines what they're doing with this show to me. And I really like that. And this, again, feeling like a classic Batman premise, which a lot of the episodes of this show have felt like broken earlier on with Humpty Dumpty. Yeah. It just feels like, Batman having to work with an enemy that, he doesn't trust. And they're in this horrible situation. That feels
and
like
that's always a good concept.
And with a ticking time bomb of sorts.
Yeah.
And
I like that. I like ticking clocks. I love a good countdown.
Yeah. And of course, that whole deal scene with Anarchy and Lady Shiva, I thought that was great. And it's just, again, it feels like a classic Batman premise of the villains who don't like each other really make an arrangement.
I would definitely say that people should, if you haven't checked out this show, go back and watch some of the earlier episodes, but know that it's definitely stepped up from when it initially started. It's just gotten better and better all the way through.
Yeah, I feel since Control, we've really gotten the first episodes of the show since Control. Not the other ones were bad or anything.
Yeah, I'd just say, just know that it's definitely stepped up its game.
Indeed. But yeah, just Anarkys really controls that scene, because he could just be killed, and she points the Soul Taker sword at him, and it looks like she can almost impale him with it. It's just he's not losing his cool or anything, because this guy has he demonstrates earlier in the episode, he's like the fighting prowess of Batman, along with the brain to match, because they are selling. Keep in mind, in this show, he's basically Batman's Joker for the show, the way they're trying to sell it.
Yeah, but
we'll see further on if they continue that or not, but. Said that since the beginning that they want to make this guy kind of the placeholder for Joker.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway,
one last thing. Sorry.
Go ahead. One last thing.
Again, I like how Anarchy. By the end, Anarchy, in his own twisted logic, she held up her end of the bargain. He didn't expect her to be successful. He just wanted to see the events unfold and really just. See if Batman's still worthy. Just put Batman through the ringer for the real challenge that lays forward, I guess. Not that he's setting up anything yet, or at least we don't know about. But just the villains in this episode were great. Again, Anarchy, Lady Shiva, and I love her. Just her mission in general is to save Ra's al Ghul, because she has to respect or owe this guy a debt, Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
You think we're gonna get Talia?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would hold off on that because of the reaction she got in Rises.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised because, like, even in that movie, it's not really Talia until, like, the last few minutes. So...
Well, really, it's Talia all the way through, but unless you're a dope like me, you're going to believe, okay, it's not Talia, it's not Talia. They said it's not Talia. Oh, wait, it is.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, so Ra's al Ghul is who we're getting.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
They have been seeding it in since, not since the very beginning, but they have been seeding it in. If you count Katana just being in the fray, connecting to the assassins, then they have been seeding it in from the beginning.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to be their bit. Like the League of Assassins is going to be the thing throughout this. At least the first season. I'm hoping we don't just it's like Batman versus the League of Assassins all the way through.
Yeah.
Like that'll be the main overriding story. But like I'd want someone else to like step in next season. I don't mind this for first season, but if they keep coming up, it's gonna be like, oh god, more League of Assassins stuff.
Just
really.
imagine what they could do with that. If this whole season's been kind of, again, introducing villains of less renown, and also at the same time, the League of Assassins story. Imagine what they could do next season.
Mm.
You know, it could be really interesting. Again, that's really kind of a stamp of this show, kind of mixing those two elements in a healthy balance, mind you. And still like classic Batman. I'm still impressed by. And overall, again, just kind of wrapping up here on my end, I guess, overall, good episode, very solid. We're getting a lot of solid episodes now. We have been getting good episodes, but now I think we're really getting really solid. Just feels like classic Batman episodes we've been getting. Again, my only problem with it was maybe the message of sacrifice a little forced. Not that the occurrences of sacrifice are bad, just a little forced in there.
Yeah.
And of course that scene where Batman just again, Batman saving Katana, saving the day, and then of course waiting off the Gordon. Gordon who saves the day, by the way. Nice touch.
Yeah.
By pushing like the cancel button, apparently.
Yeah.
And the ninjas do get saved, so they don't die. We haven't really... Officially, we haven't gotten death. It's been hinted at.
Yeah.
In this series so far. I mean... we assume that... not Silver Monkey, we assume some ninjas might have died, but I don't know. We don't know. We can assume they're dead. But these guys are alive. These ninjas survived, because Gordon made a point of mentioning it.
Okay, so
Anything to add?
overall, I would say this was a good episode. It has little problems, but nothing that ought to be like, oh, it's just awful.
Exactly.
Oh, keep it away from me. That sort of thing. So
very solid.
Overall, yeah, very solid. Okay, so
well, would you say that about does it?
Yeah, remember, people.
Beware the Batman.
Beware the Batman.